Thoughts on Linguistic States by Babasaheb Ambedkar. Part 2. The Limitations of Linguism. Chapter 3. The Pros and Cons of a Linguistic State. One state, one language is a universal feature of almost every state. Examine the Constitution of Germany, examine the Constitution of France, Italy, England, and the USA. One state, one language is the rule. Wherever there has been a departure from this rule, there has been a danger to the state. The illustration of the mixed states are to be found in the old Austrian Empire and in the old Turkish Empire. They were blown up because they were multilingual states, with all that a multilingual state means. India cannot escape this fate if it continues to be a congery of mixed states. The reasons why a unilingual state is stable and a multilingual state unstable are quite obvious. A state is built on fellow feeling. What is this fellow feeling? To state briefly, it is a feeling of a corporate sentiment of oneness which makes those who are charged with it feel that they are kith and kin. This feeling is a double-edged feeling. It is at once a feeling of fellowship for one's own kith and kin and anti-fellowship for those who are not one's own kith and kin. It is a feeling of consciousness of kind, which on the one hand binds together those who have it so strongly that it overrides all differences arising out of economic conflicts or social degradations, and on the other severes them from those who are not of their kind. It is a longing not to belong to any other group. The existence of this fellow feeling is the foundation of a stable and democratic state. This is one reason why a linguistic state is so essential. But there are other reasons why a state should be unilingual. There are two other reasons why the rule one state, one language is necessary. One reason is that democracy cannot work without friction unless there is a fellow feeling among those who constitute the state. Faction fights for leadership and discrimination in administration are factors present in a mixed state and are incompatible with democracy. The present state of Bombay is the best illustration of the failure of democracy in a mixed state. I am amazed at the suggestion made by the State's Reorganization Commission that the present Bombay state should be continued as it is to enable us to gain experience of how a mixed state flourishes. With Bombay as a mixed state for the last 20 years, with the intense enmity between the Maharashtrians and the Gujaratis, only a thoughtless or an absent-minded person could put forth such a senseless proposal. The former state of Madras is another illustration of the failure of democracy in a mixed state. The formation of a mixed state of united India and the compulsory division of India into India and Pakistan are other illustrations of the impossibility of having democracy in a mixed state. Another reason why it is necessary to adopt the rule of one state, one language is that it is only solvent to racial and cultural conflicts. Why do Tamils hate Andhras and Andhras hate Tamils? Why do Andhras in Hyderabad hate Maharashtrians and Maharashtrians hate Andhras? Why do Gujaratis hate Maharashtrians and Maharashtrians Gujaratis? The answer is very simple. It is not because there is any natural antipathy between the two. The head is due to the fact that they are put in juxtaposition and forced to take part in a common cycle of participation such as government. There is no other answer. So long as this enforced juxtaposition remains, there will be no peace between the two. There will be people who would cite the cases of Canada, Switzerland, and South Africa. It is true that these cases of bilingual states exist, but it must not be forgotten that the genius of India is quite different from the genius of Canada, Switzerland, and South Africa. The genius of India is to divide. The genius of South Africa, Switzerland, and Canada is to unite. The fact that they have been held together up till now is not in the natural course of things. It is due to the fact that both of them are bound by the Congress discipline. But how long is the Congress going to last? The Congress is Pandit Nehru and Pandit Nehru is Congress. But is Pandit Nehru immortal? Anyone who applies his mind to these questions will realize that the Congress will not last till the sun and the moon. It must one day come to an end. It might come to an end even before the next election. When this happens, the state of Bombay will find itself engaged in civil war and not in carrying on administration. We therefore want linguistic states for two reasons: to make easy the way to democracy and to remove racial and cultural tension. In seeking to create linguistic states, India is treading the right road. It is the road which all states have followed. In the case of other linguistic states, they have been so from the very beginning. In the case of India, she has put herself in the reverse gear to reach the goal. But the road she proposes to travel is a well tried road. It is a road which is followed by other states. Having stated the advantages of a linguistic state, I must also set out the dangers of it. A linguistic state with a regional language as its official language may easily develop into an independent nationality. The road between an independent nationality and an independent state is very narrow. If this happens, India will cease to be a modern India we have and will become the medieval India, consisting of a variety of states indulging in rivalry and warfare. This danger is, of course, inherent in the creation of linguistic states. There is equal danger in not having linguistic states. The former danger a wise and firm statesman can avert, but the danger of a mixed state are greater and beyond the control of a statesman, however eminent. How can this danger be met? The only way I can think of meeting the danger is to provide in the Constitution that the regional language shall not be the official language of the state. The official language of the state shall be Hindi, and until India becomes fit for this purpose, English. Will Indians accept this? If they do not, linguistic states may easily become a peril. One language can unite people. Two languages are sure to divide people. This is an inexorable law. Culture is conserved by language. Since Indians wish to unite and develop a common culture, it is the bounden duty of all Indians to own up Hindi as their language. Any Indian who does not accept this proposal as part and parcel of a linguistic state has no right to be an Indian. He may be 100% Maharashtrian, 100% a Tamil, or 100% a Gujarati, but he cannot be an Indian in the real sense of the word except in a geographical sense. If my suggestion is not accepted, India will then cease to be India. It will be a collection of different nationalities engaged in rivalries and wars against one another. God seems to have laid a very heavy curse on India and Indians, saying, Ye Indians, ye shall remain divided, and ye shall always be slaves. I was glad that India was separated from Pakistan. I was the philosopher, so to say, of Pakistan. I advocated partition because I felt that it was the only by partition that Hindus would not only be independent but free. If India and Pakistan had remained united in one state, Hindus, though independent, would have been at the mercy of the Muslims. A merely independent India would not have been a free India from the point of view of the Hindus. It would have been a government of one country by two nations, and of these two, the Muslims, without question, would have been the ruling race, notwithstanding Hindu Mahasabha and Janasangh. When the partition took place, I felt that God was willing to lift his curse and let India be one, great and prosperous. But I fear that this curse may fall again. For I find that those who are advocating linguistic states have at heart the ideal of making the regional language their official language. This will be a death knell to the idea of a united India. With regional languages as official languages, the ideal to make India one united country and to make Indians first and Indians last will vanish. I can do no more than to suggest a way out. It is for Indians to consider it. The end.